G'day, treasures. Welcome back to the Real Raw Relatable podcast. I hope you are well and you have been taking care of yourselves and the people that you love. But first and foremost, it's important to take care of you so you've got enough juice to take care of the ones that you love. This past week for me has been a really difficult one for even our family. The last week, I've had two very dear friends to me. One has lost her mum, and the other friend has lost her full-term baby, or right before being full-term. And it's been a really difficult week, especially with being very up close and really along for the journey from finding out that our friend no longer has a living little baby. Being very up close to that has been very big, very big. And I'm an ex-nurse. I used to work in neonatal ICU and have dealt with premature babies, very premature babies, teeny tiny babies weighing 500 grams. I've worked in the Children's Cancer Centre and cardiac wards in adult nursing, and I've experienced quite a lot of death. And when I used to work in the nursing home, and often when a patient or resident would pass, I'd be asked to make the body look at peace, close their mouth and have their hands in a peaceful position, comb their hair. And I don't know why. I found that comforting. I found doing those things really comforting. But I tell you what, when it's your nearest and dearest, that's fucking hard. So yeah, I've been engulfed in sadness for them, watching their lives, both of my friends, one losing their mum, one losing their daughter, just change, just like that. I'm really proud. I've got to say, I'm really proud of my stepdaughters. They were also really brave. They were in it too. And just very mature about it, wanting to know about it. We gave them the option to see the baby, not see the baby, and they both did, out of choice. I'm really proud of them. So girls, if you ever listen to this when you're 20, 30 years older than what you are now, because I know you don't listen to my podcast now, I'm really proud of you. And I have shared that with them anyway. But if you listen to this 20 years on, I am very proud of you. So yeah, it's been a big week. And I've just not really felt compelled to be on, socials and sharing stuff and whatever else, because we've really just been in support mode. But anyway, that's just the reality of where I'm at right now. And it leans into the point that I want to make today. And it touches on a podcast that I've been listening to of Glennon Doyle, We Can Do Hard Things. She has very openly shared about her recent diagnosis of anorexia. She's been a bulimic for a long time, but had a recent diagnosis of anorexia. And just hearing her share with her partner there and her sister, I really resonate with Glennon, and I think it's because she does share real. She shares what she calls the middle. And I believe I do the same too. I don't share only highlight reels. I definitely do share what's highlighting in my life, and I share what is low lighting, middle to low lighting, middle to high lighting, and all of those little spaces in between. And I can tell you this, that in a world that really supports, congratulates before and after, I've done this and now I'm here. I've done that and now I'm that. or I used to weigh this and now I weigh this, or now I look like that, compared to that, in a world that really celebrates that. Sharing the middle and all the spaces in between, low to middle, middle to high, highlight. I'll speak for myself. I can feel like I'm crazy. I can feel like, oh shit, should I be sharing that emotion? Should I be sharing that feeling? Should I be sharing that thought? And look, to be fair, I legitimately can't do it any other way, because I believe my quest in this life is to be my most real, authentic self in self-expression. And I'm always going to be on a journey with that. But, I'm sure that in my past lifetimes, I've had so much repression that I'm like, this life, I am not doing it again. So even though that I can feel crazy and like, oh gosh, how is this going to be received? Am I just going to be left with a vulnerability hangover? There really is no other way that I see it. And with sharing, this is the reality, right? Like, so I have my business and I have a community. I'm with my community. I love sharing with my community. And so I've got events coming up. I've got programs coming up. But at the same time, my friend has lost her mum, and my other friend has lost her almost born baby at 38 weeks. And it's like, oh my God, I don't want to just share the highlight reel of like, yeah, cool, let's do a fun ZF Tuesday dance because it's Tuesday. Let's, pump up about, be pumped up about the Zero Fucks dance party that is next week and sell more tickets. Like, of course, there are things that I need to tend to. Because I have a business. This is how I make money. This is my livelihood. This is my purpose. This is what gets me up every day, and sitting at my laptop and creating new ideas and thinking what I can do with my community. But I think there's a way to share, to still do life, like talk about what's coming up in my world with authenticity, with what you're currently experiencing. So on Monday or Tuesday, I think last Monday, I just shared on stories about what was taking place, not in specifics, that, I'm not in pump up mode. I do have some things to share with you, so I'm going to share them. And that, I believe, is part of what, like I said, Glennon Doyle calls the middle, sharing the middle. It's like, hey, this is what's currently going on for me. I don't have much capacity to give what I usually give. And I'm certainly at no place in my life where I feel like I need to overgive, to overcompensate, and kind of disregard how I'm feeling. Instead, I'm going to share how I am, where I'm at, but also what's coming up that you can get involved in. And I remember being asked to speak at a run club. There's this beautiful run club up in Torquay, if you live in Melbourne, called The Finisher. My dear friends Bree and Gabe run that. And they asked me to come and speak to their big run community. And I drove up that morning, went for our run, and then came back. And that was a time in my life where my nana was dying. It had been determined she was palliative. And that shocked me, because she was so well and she got sick so quickly. And my nana and I were so close. My gosh, we were so close. We'd chat on the phone a couple of times a week, and I'd go and see her and she'd call me Ding-a-ling. And we just had the best grandmother, granddaughter connection. So when I went up there, I was a bit off, and a very dear friend of mine, James, said to me, I don't think you're okay. I'm like, I'm not okay. And when I started speaking and sharing what I wanted to share that day, I remember standing there in front of everyone and just saying, I'm so sorry. I actually can't continue without clearing this first. And I shared about my nan and the difficulty that I was in the middle of experiencing. And you know what? That's fucking human. Like, that is human. And the response from the people, I mean, people were in tears because someone had just lost their nan or was about to lose their nan, or reminded them of their nan. And instantly there was this connection. Instant, oh gosh, cool. You're not just some chick who knows all the answers in the world, which I don't, who's coming to talk to us. You are a human who is in the middle of something, in the middle of mess, of chaos that doesn't have her footing here, and everywhere. And fuck, that's relatable. That makes me feel like I can possibly be in the middle of something when I go to work, that I can still do my thing, that I can still show up in some capacity, but it doesn't have to be an overcompensated capacity to try and hide what I'm currently experiencing. And that was the feedback that I received after I ended up speaking about what I wanted to speak. But I could eventually speak about what I wanted to speak about because I shared the middle, shared the mess. And like I said, with the before and after world that really congratulates that, and then wants to know about the middle, but would like to see the before and after first. You know, like I said, I can feel a little nuts, a little too much, a little too, oh, you know, I don't think we should say that. But if anyone, you know, when people ask me about, like, you know, me being authentic or me being so real or why they relate to me so much, it's because of that. I believe, maybe you can tell me otherwise, why else you connect to it, but I believe it is because of that. Why do I believe why I'm successful at what I do? I believe part of it, I know there's a lot of other reasons why, is because of that. You know, I don't intend ever to be like the queen sitting on her throne and looking over the people. I'm fucking the Princess Diana. You know, I'm out with the people. I want to feel the people. I want to be with them. I am with them. You know, never have I ever wanted to be the queen in the throne that never comes out, that or only waves her hand but doesn't connect to everyone. And like I said, maybe, you know, in my coaching world and in this type of profession of helping people, that's not kosher. But I sure as hell know that the people who I have helped and the people that I have served is because I'm with them. Yes, I'm steps ahead. I've got tools, I've got many tools to share in that sense, but I'll walk with them. I'll be with them. I'll sit with them. I'll share with them. Not just what has happened in my past, but what is currently happening in my world that I'm in the middle of battling, struggling with, experiencing, you know? And so my message to you today is, what are you possibly in the middle of that maybe you're unwilling to share? Maybe you're unwilling to open up about and be vulnerable and connect at a human level. I mean, we do some pretty gnarly things to protect ourselves. And please, when I say this, it comes with a great big fat asterisk that you share this with the people that you feel comfortable with. You know, the reason why I feel so comfortable sharing here or sharing on socials about the middle is I share with my closest people first. I share with myself first. I get real with myself first. And then I share with my loved ones. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Let's now share this with thousands of other people. And I'm sure this may relate, and I'm sure this may connect, and maybe it might help them in some way, shape, or form. But for you, what are you in the middle of that you are hiding? that you are wanting to, keep hidden, and why? How is that impacting you? How is that impacting your mental well-being? How is that impacting your connection to others? How is that impacting your job? Not feeling understood at work because you're like, fuck, I am going through something gnarly, but I don't want anyone to know because I don't want anyone to think that I'm a nutbag, or I don't want anyone to think that I'm not strong or powerful or whatever else. They're the stories that are in our head. What are you in the middle of? And firstly, are you okay? Are you okay? If you're not, all good. Most of the times when we're in the middle of something stormy, we don't feel so ace. That's okay. When we learn to be able to be in the middle, to hold space for the middle, we widen our capacity to hold those uncomfortable, not so ace emotions and feelings. And we're able to say to those emotions and feelings, there's space for you too. But like I said, in a world that celebrates before and after, and not so much the middle, I get it that it's difficult to hold space for those feelings. You're like, I can't fucking feel that. I'm not allowed to feel that, because if I then feel that, then I'm going to show that. And if I show that, then I'm not going to be like this, like that, like that, like that. And then so the persona that's out into the world that you put on at work or in your relationships or in your friendships or wherever it may be, it gets challenged. It gets called out and it doesn't like that. So it'll resist that, going, no, you can't do that. You mustn't do that. Just be happy. Just glide over it for now, suppress it, and then feel it later. But if we do that day after day, week after week, and suppress that, then we're going to think, all right, cool, nothing's really wrong. Everything's kind of fine. Maybe I'm at the after point, but we're still in the middle, unable to address, feel, hold space for what's difficult. But like I said, when we acknowledge the middle and what's happening in the middle and share it outwardly with someone you love, someone you trust, a safe space, often there's that greater capacity to continue to move through your life, not at full speed ahead, not at the after point, not at 100%, but there's a greater ability and capacity to move forward whilst also holding space for these difficult, big emotions that you're currently experiencing, and have room for both, and holding space and having room for both, it calls us to widen our capacity, our emotional capacity. It calls us to journal, reflect, deconstruct our mind and thoughts. And that takes time, that takes energy, that takes taking a look at yourself. And I get that that can be scary. The ego ain't a great big fan of change and shifting. So if you are listening to this and you are in the middle of something, trying to live in the after, but not addressing the middle, please take a moment to firstly ask, are you okay? And if you're not, do you need to speak to someone? Do you need to share this with someone? And just have your emotions heard? Do you need to journal it out? Speak to a professional? Or maybe just to simply acknowledge, fuck, I'm in the middle. Yeah, I'm in the middle and I've been racing to the after. And I firstly simply need to just sit with the fact that I'm in the middle of something. And I'm trying to find the after, trying to find the solution too quickly. Let that be your first step. And from there, ask, how can I best serve myself whilst I'm here? in the middle, in the mess, so I can have room to move forward, but also acknowledge what's currently going on.